Good morning. It is a bright and sunny Friday morning. Up early. It is 7:05. I want to thank you for joining me today. If my voice sounds a little soft or different, it's because I've really been dealing with a upper respiratory infection all week. And I will say this, as you get older, excuse me, the things that you used to be able to recover from and bounce back from kind of quickly, it becomes more challenging when you get older. I'm fine though. Still getting my my exercise in. I'm still riding my bike. I rode my bike this morning. But it's for 31 days, so we're still doing our 31 days of movement. But it does add to the fatigue level, particularly since it impacts how I sleep. So, but regardless, I wanted to show up and be here with y'all today, because today is a topic that really was laid upon my heart. I was talking with a friend of mine, and I was talking about kind of sort of what I wanted to talk about, and then he made the point of saying, well, you got to be careful of what you pray for. And I thought, that is a great topic. So just, I want to welcome y'all in. So let's dive in. I want you to come on in, settle your spirit for just a minute. Whether you watch me live or you watch me later, I want you to take a breath, because we're talking about something that sounds very simple, but it will change the way you move, the way you pray, the way you build your life. Being clear and being careful of what you ask and what you pray for. Because I want you to slow down with me for just a second. Because when we think about what we ask for, whether you're praying for it, speaking it, journaling it, or just quietly desiring it in your heart, it has power. Your ask is a seed, and seeds grow. So you have to be clear about what you're planning, and you have to be prepared for what grows. So whether you are speaking out loud, praying to your higher power, asking Jesus, or reading book of affirmations, your canons, seeking to find out if this what you want and the goals you want to go in your life, when you speak it, even if it's just in your heart, it has power. It's a seed. It's a seed that will grow. And we have to be very clear about the words that we speak. When we speak those words, when we pray those prayers, when we elicit to our higher power, we're saying, I am asking for this thing. I want my business to grow. I want this relationship. You're planting. Hello, Renee, and happy Friday. Thank you for joining me today. You are asking whom that you love, or who do you pray or worship or walk in kinship with, that this is really what I want. But the question is, are you prepared for the seed? A lot of times people will plant things and they have absolutely no idea what they're planting. But when you ask and pray for something, you need to be very intentional about what you want and if you're ready for it to grow. Because one of the things that comes from this, one of the topics I really wanted to cover is clarity. What are you really asking for? Because a lot of us haven't even slowed down enough to define what we're asking for. We pray for peace, but we're still entertaining chaos. We ask for clarity, but we avoid the hard truths that clarity requires. We ask for growth, but we cling to the habits and relationships that keep us small. We ask for more, but we haven't organized what we already have. So the first question is, what am I truly asking for? And even deeper, do I mean it? When you are praying for clarity and peace, excuse me, but you keep chaos in your life, well, you can't be praying for peace, because you keep entertaining that chaos. You can't be saying you want clarity in your life, but when the hard truths present you, you deny them, or you overlook them, or you think, well, that doesn't apply to me. But that truth is coming to you for a reason. and you want growth, you want to expand your business, but you haven't even organized what you got. You haven't mastered the little. You are asking for more, but you haven't even, you want more love, more all these things, but you haven't organized it. You haven't even prepared for the growth. So when you're asking and you're praying for these things, what are you truly asking for? Because there's a cost for the ask. Because every blessing has a weight. Every answered prayer requires a version of you who can hold on to it. And that's the part that we don't talk enough about. We pray for elevation, but elevation comes with pruning. We pray for opportunity, but the opportunity comes with responsibilities. We pray for visibility, but visibility comes with accountability. So before you ask, pause and ask yourself, am I prepared for the responsibility of receiving what I'm asking for? So not only are you, when we talk about the clarity, are you sure? When you talk about you praying for peace, but you're still clinging on to the chaos, and now the cost of the ask, because every ask has weight to it. So if you're asking God to grow your business, well, more opportunity means more responsibility. So you can't, and then that visibility, you want visibility, that comes with accountability. You just can't do and say whatever you do. That comes with accountability. And I was going to save this till later, but it just seems now the best time to say it. History is not a good preparer for those who are always on the wrong side of ignorance. And what I mean by that is, history remembers things that we want to forget. And history always reveals who was on the wrong side at that moment. So, and I was thinking about that this morning when, people are saying things and they get in these chats and they get on my page and they say things like, oh, you're anti-America, you're Trump, you hate Trump. I don't hate anybody. That's just number one. Number two, I think about the people who were throwing rocks at Ruby when she was going to school. At the time, y'all thought y'all was on the right side. We don't want these niggas in our school. Go back and look at the videos. How many of those were your uncles, nephews, cousins? But you thought at that moment that was the right thing. You thought you were standing on the right side of history. But now we look back and go, y'all was throwing rocks at a baby trying to go to school. Y'all was really upset about that. Just imagine what 20 years from now, what your choices and your consequences are going to look like. Is this opportunity that you have, are you really ready for the responsibility that comes with it? So I've talked about the spiritual component, but let's move it to a more practical layer. Because I want to shift into something practical, because this is where a lot of people get stuck. Hustle. People say, well, you got to hustle. You got to pray and hustle. Hustle. Hustle only works in short bursts. It can help you launch something, get through a busy season, or even push through early on in your journey. But a long-term strategy of hustling has its limits. So when people say you're hustling, I mean, they can understand this because we play ball. When you say hustle to get the ball, that's a burst of energy. I've got to hustle to get there. I've got to hustle to get through the end of this workout session. I have to hustle to get through the end of this project. I have to hustle to get through to a certain point of where I'm trying to get with my career. But hustling as a long-term strategy, it's not working. Hustling is good for short term, but not a long-term strategy. And that's where so many of us get stuck, because we make hustling the long-term strategy, and it's only meant for a short burst. It's only meant to get you started, to get you through those difficult moments, or push to the end. But it is not a long-term strategy, not on how to live your life, or not how to finish that project. You have to shift to something more better. You have to shift to something different. And that's why you have to move from hustling to intention. Because intention is powerful. But intention without structure often leads to frustration. So you intend to earn more, but you don't have a clear process of how to sell your product, what to offer, what to pay. So then people won't know how to work with you. You tend to charge more, so in this scenario, you charge more. But if you haven't practiced talking about what the outcomes become, then everybody doesn't want your pricing, and that pricing becomes uncomfortable. You can intend to grow, but without support, every decision feels heavy. That's why clarity matters. This is why structure matters. This is why you must be careful what you ask for, because the thing that you're praying for requires a container. It requires a system. It requires a version of you who can hold on to it without breaking. So in a business, and when I wrote this, I was writing it, thinking about the business world, and you want to grow your business, you want to earn more, okay, but you don't have a clear offer. Like, you don't know what to charge people. You want to have peace in your life, but you don't know what peace is because you're constantly surrounded by chaos. So you don't know, you're not going to attract the peace because people who want peace are going to look at you and go, oh, that's too much chaos in my life. She's got too much chaos. I can't be with her or him because there's too much chaos going around them. So then if you have a business, she's like, I want to charge more because I feel like I'm not making the money I should. But you haven't talked about what the outcomes are going to be from your product. So if you're trying to sell something to somebody and we don't know the outcome, talking about pricing will be uncomfortable. I want to have a relationship. Take it practical. I want to have a relationship. I want to be in love. I want to get married. But you haven't talked about what outcome is going to come from this dating relationship, or what outcomes you have for yourself. It's so interesting to me that people want to go into relationships empty and expect for people to come in with a full cup. Oh, I just said something that shook my own soul. People want to go into relationships with a empty cup and then expect for somebody to come in and fill their cup, or they want to attract somebody with a full cup. If you're emotionally immature and unavailable, you're not going to attract that in your life. So you can stop praying for, send me someone who's emotionally intelligent. Are you emotionally intelligent? Can someone have a conversation with you without feeling like that's going to end up in World War III? That's, again, why clarity matters. What are you actually praying for? Do you understand what you're asking for? This is why structure matters. Because if you don't have a process in place, structure, it's going to become chaos. And then you have to have a system. And when you have to be able to know if things ain't, a system may be as simple as, if this ain't for me, I can walk away from it and I'm not going to fall apart. I love myself so much that I can leave this situation, this job, this environment, because the system of this chaotic, messed up, delusional process isn't working for me. And I can move on without breaking. So, and then one of the last things is alignment. You cannot pray for peace and you have to have alignment. Your actions must match your ask. You cannot pray for peace and keeping and choosing chaos. You cannot ask for clarity and keep avoiding the truth. You cannot ask for growth and keep repeating the same patterns. You cannot ask for elevation and resist the structure. Your actions must match your ask. Your habits must match your hope. Your structure must match your intention. So in order to be in alignment, your actions got to ask your match. If you are struggling to manage $200 a week, what would you do if you had a job like, Lord, I need more money, but you're struggling to manage the little that you have? And what I mean by that, I mean, like, you can't live off $200 a week, but you can be intentional. You can't just get $200 a week and then eat out every day, or still smoke cigarettes to take up all that money. When I say you have to have structure, you have to be faithful with the few. I can't ask for more if I'm not disciplined with what I got right now. I can't ask for elevation and I want more. I want my business to grow. I want my platforms to grow. Because elevation comes with separation. Not everybody's going to be able to go on the journey with you. And if you're clinging to people who hinder your growth, you're never going to grow. So you have to be alignment. Your actions must match your ask. You can't say, when I get this, I will be better. No. What are you doing right now? Are you in alignment? If what you're praying for came today, would you be ready? So today I want us to sit with one question. What am I asking for? And what structure do I need to build so I can hold on to it? Because your ask is powerful. Your structure determines whether you can sustain the answer. Ask with clarity. Ask with intention. Align with truth. And build the structure that builds the life that you're praying for. This is Transformation with Tracy. Jump in the chat and let me know what you think about being clear and consistent, being clear and careful about what you ask and pray for. That can be it's not just a spiritual process, but it's a practical concept. I can't ask for more if my container is small. I can't ask for more love in my life if I don't have love for myself. If I'm so broken or I'm so self-consumed with that I can't see anybody else. When we pray to whomever you pray, those words have power. And because the God I serve honors prayers, I got to be really careful about what I'm asking for. I got to be really careful about what I say I want. Because those choices come with consequences. And when I say consequences, your abundance may bring people who want to use you. People who want to take advantage of you. Your abundance will bring out people who don't mean the best for you. Your abundance will bring out hanger-oners. People who wasn't with you in that journey, who wasn't up all night writing books with you, or who wasn't on the football field tackling, and when you were sore, you're going to have people who are going to want to align themselves with you because of where you are, but no, they wasn't there for the struggle. Be clear. Are you ready? Are you in alignment? If it arrived today, are you ready? Because if you're not ready, get ready. Because again, the God I serve and every, element of prayer that I understand from other different various religions is that when you pray, you're asking to receive. Get ready. And so I want to do my 2 love notes. My first love note goes to Ken Garrett, Ken State of Mind. He had a Zoom on Wednesday. It was absolutely amazing. I was just so blessed by the participants and the conversation. And from one content creator to another, it is challenging, especially when you talk about positivity. People will follow somebody and join in when they're gossiping or there's something negative. But when you're out here really trying to promote positivity, when you're trying to be this hope dealer, when you're trying to help people become the best version of themselves and share the lessons that you learn along the way, everybody gonna get down with that. And it can be very frustrating because you're like, I'm out here, I'm giving this information for free, I'm sharing it, and not everybody responds. But this is where the alignment comes in. I don't write if I sell my books, that's great. But I write my books because I know that I'm not the only person that goes through the things that I go through. I'm not the only person that can share, that can benefit from these lessons. So you ain't got to go through what I go through. If it happens to sell millions of books, great. If it only sells one, that's cool too. Because my alignment isn't based on what I sell. My alignment is based on what I want to pour out. And Ken, I want to encourage you to keep going, because what you're pouring out with that group is amazing. And I hope that you'll invite me to come back, because it was amazing. And the next time I have it, I posted it, but I really want to encourage more people to participate. He's doing some powerful things, very positive things in the community. And I just like for us to continue to support people who are doing great and positive things. And the last one, love note, goes to each one of you who keep showing up day after day, week after week, doing the work that nobody sees or celebrates. Know that I see you and I celebrate you. I honor you and I value you. You are worthy. And if nobody else values you, know that I do. Know that everything that you are and everything that you want to accomplish is a beautiful thing. Keep going. And the last thing I want to do is read. My reading comes from my book, Blessings Become Through Battles. When the blessing isn't obvious. This is one of my other books again. I love all my books. But this, I want to read from this. And this is chapter 3, Becoming in the Battle. Some growth doesn't happen in the light. It happens in the dark. In the moments where you're questioning everything. In the nights where you're crying out and hearing nothing back. That's where the roots deepen. That's where resilience is born. Good morning, Miss Gay. Love you. You don't have to honor. You don't have to love the struggle to honor what's growing in you. Because the truth is, some blessings only bloom in battle. The kind of growth that doesn't just change your life, it changes your capacity to love, to lead, to listen, to live with more depth than before. Because becoming is the blessing, not the outcome, not the resolution, not the applause, the becoming. The way you learn to speak your truth, the way you begin to trust your own voice, the way you stop hiding and start healing. That's the miracle. And that's happening right now, even if you don't see it. You are not who you were, and that is holy. Blessings come through battles. So I want to thank you all again for joining me today. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for all of the love, the well wishes, the prayers. Please know that I feel them and I appreciate them. And to all my haters who constantly stay in my inbox, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, particularly this last group that I got. I want to thank you. Because what you do is you remind me every day that there is someone out there that needs to be healed. So keep coming. To all my haters, I appreciate you. I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe rest of your day and a blessed weekend. And I will talk to y'all next time.